Hey everybody, Dan Diaz here, and today I want to talk about a theory regarding the nature of the killers in Last Year the Nightmare. Also, this video contains a spoiler for Cabin in the Woods, so if you haven't seen it yet, consider yourself warned. So far, we've been told very little about the killers beyond their names and playstyles. I actually made a video about each killer's stats if you want to check it out, but very little actual info has been given regarding why these killers are after the teenagers, or what drives them to kill in the first place. So today, I'm going to share one of my theories, which is based on a few older photos of the killers, a clip from the game's old trailer, and the way killers play and respawn during a match. First, let's discuss killer gameplay. When you die as the killer, the teenagers don't automatically win. Instead, after a short respawn timer, the killer player comes back, but you can only return as one of the two killers you weren't playing as when you died. It's kind of like in WWE when a wrestler gets tagged in while their buddy takes a breather. This forces you, as the killer, to mix things up strategically, since odds are good you won't be playing just one killer in every game. But this implies that all the killers are present and driven by the same goal in each game at the same time. Which begs the question, why not attack all at once? Why would they wait? And what connects these killers to one another? These questions led me to some photos you've probably already seen, but bear with me. If you consider these images of the killers, you may notice they all have something eerie in common. They all have those same glossed over, dead-looking eyes. So why did this catch my attention, of all things? These eyes are identical to one seen everywhere in films regarding demonic possession, including Evil Dead, The Devil Inside, and The Exorcist, to name a few. Is it possible that these killers are connected because they're all possessed by some kind of demonic entity? I mean, think about it. When one killer dies, the next one takes his place. What if, when one killer dies, the demonic spirit leaves their body to inhabit the next one, continuing the carnage? And what about Predator mode? Couldn't being possessed by the same evil spirit grant every killer some of the same supernatural abilities? Now, you might be thinking,
Come on, Dandy. Why are you comparing these killers to movies? Last Year isn't based on any of those films. And besides, this doesn't explain why these killers would target the teenagers.
perhaps, astute and gorgeous viewer, but allow me to share a clip from one of the older trailers for Last Year.
Players will experience a thriller that embraces all the horror movie cliches from classic horror films like Friday the 13th and The Cabin in the Woods.
According to this clip, they took inspiration from iconic thriller and horror movies for Last Year, and their two examples could be huge hints about the killers. Referencing Friday the 13th could mean the killers are supernatural, which would tie in with the demonic theory. It would also explain their ability to spawn back into the game after death, as well as Predator mode, allowing the killers to vanish and then reappear without warning. But the Cabin in the Woods reference is much more interesting. In this film, the twist in the end was that all the horror monsters and killers were connected to some big, cultish ritual, which offered human teen sacrifices to appease evil, godlike beings and keep them from unleashing their horrors upon the earth. This comparison is possibly a clue that the killers in Last Year are more organized and strategic than simply a group of psychopaths on coincidentally synchronized killing sprees. If this is the case, and these killers are uniting to sacrifice the lives of these teenagers in service to some kind of demonic being, then whatever's going on with the killers in this game may be far more sinister than we ever suspected. This theory would also be convenient from the developer's perspective, because it would easily explain any playable killers added down the road. I mean, if this is a demonic cult, and it adds new members, well surely, their murderous drive would be united to the three killers already revealed. Now, please do understand, this is just a theory. I have absolutely no idea whether or not this is the game's actual lore. but I think it matches up with what we've both seen and heard about the killers. It ties all the killers together, explains why they would target these teenagers, it would add contextual logic behind predator mode and killer respawns, and it provides a convenient foundation to expand the game's characters, maps, and lore. I also have a theory about how and why the slasher, giant, and strangler specifically could be involved with such a cult, but I need more time to put that one together. I'll probably address it in a future theory video. So that's my cult/demon theory for the killers in Last Year the Nightmare. What do you guys think? Does my theory hold water as well as I think it does? Do you have any theories that corroborate with or stand against mine? Is there any other data I didn't include here that would further the discussion? I can actually think of a couple counter-arguments, but I want to hear your thoughts first. Share them in the comments below. Let's start a discussion. If you enjoyed the video, please spank that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys later.